Hello guys, welcome to my channel. So in this video we are going to work on a new project which is specifically for beginners. So if you are new to Java, or if you are in college right now, if you want to work on Java projects, then this project is for you. So in this project we are going to work on a RESTful application, and this is going to be the part 1 of this video series. And in this video we are going to work on a bank application. So this is not going to be a full-fledged bank application, rather something to start with, right? So in this video we are going to work on a simple bank application without any database connection. So this is going to be a real simple application. In the next part of the series we are going to enhance this application to make it look more real world like application, right? So before we move on to the code part of this, if you are new to my channel, if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel yet, please do. I see that a lot of people are watching my videos but not yet subscribing, so please do that. Now let's kickstart this video. So we are going to start with Spring Initializer. Alright, so here we go. Now we are going to choose Maven here, Java, and 3.2.3, that's okay. Here we will just do simple bank. Alright, now coming to dependencies, we are going to need web app, obviously. Then we need JPA, and right now we are not going to connect with the database, so that's it for us. Then we will use Lombok, and this is it. Now let's generate this project and import this into our IDE. Alright, so let's import this project now. So it is going to take a while to download the dependencies that we have just added in our Spring Initializer. Alright, so now let's start with our entities. So we are going to need a few entities here. So let's first create a package. So new package, and we will say entity. Now the first entity is going to be customer. So alright, now talking about what arguments do we need. So first is going to be obvious choice, which is going to be your ID. Second is name. So here we can do first name, last name, middle name, but let's keep it simple. So name. Then we can do address, but I would segregate this to, let's say, city, and then state, and we can do pin code also. Alright, lastly we can say provide phone number as well. So phone number. So now this is an entity. We will make use of entity annotation afterwards, but for now let's annotate it. Then we are going to use some Lombok annotation like getter, then setter, and then we are going to go with all args constructor. Alright, now we are done. Similarly we have to do for another entity class, which is going to be account. So let's do that. So new Java class account. So I can copy these. Now here what do we need? Again, obvious choice is going to be your ID. Let's do long. Then we need account type, so let's do type. Then we need account status, whether it is active, inactive, and according to type it could be checking or saving account, right? Now lastly we need balance. Alright, so we are done. Now let's start with DAO layer and service layer. So first thing is going to be to create packages. So let's start with your DAO layer, and let's start with customer DAO first. So customer DAO, and this is going to be an interface, because here we are going to go with your JPA. So I don't see it here. JPA. Okay, here we go. Repository, and here we will do customer, and then the type of customer, which is long. Okay, let's import customer here. Similarly, we have to do for your account, so let's do that. Account DAO, again interface, extends JPA, repository, and here we will do account and then long. Alright, let's import account. Now we have to work on service layer. So okay, we didn't create the package, so let's first create the package dot service, and here. Alright, so let's annotate this with the repository annotation as well. Customer DAO also. Now service, so new Java class. Obviously this is going to be a class, so starting with customer, so customer service, and first thing again is going to be to annotate this with service. Then we need an object of your DAO class, interface. So private type is going to be our customer DAO, and then customer DAO. Let's auto wire this. Alright, so now here we need 4 things. So first is your get all customers, then we need add customer, get customer by ID. So these are basic CRUD operations, and then lastly we need delete customer by ID. Alright, now starting with this is going to return a list of type customer. So list of type customer, this is going to be a public method, and let's import this. Alright, now we are going to go with customer DAO dot find all method. Right, now this returns iterable, so if I simply return this, it will work, right? Now here public, this is not going to return anything, so void, and here we will just say which object do you want to add. So customer, and customer DAO dot save, and here we will say customer. Alright, now this is going to return us an object of type customer, a single object, and here we need to figure out for which ID. So here we will just do return customer DAO dot get find by ID. Alright, now here we will say if there is no ID, then or else throw new runtime exception, customer ID not found, or let's say invalid. Alright, Now this is not going to return anything, so public void long id customer dot delete by id, and here id. Let's copy this. Alright, now let's format this a bit. Why are we getting an error here? Okay, my bad. So first we need to figure out if we are able to find out or not. So if we are able to find out, then this will return something like this. If not, then it will throw the runtime exception, right? And we don't need to do this now. Alright, so here we can add one more check. If customer not equals to null, then do this. Otherwise, let's modify this a bit. Okay. Or else, and here we will do no. Okay, sounds good. Now we are done with our customer DAO. Now similarly, customer service. Similarly, we have to work on our account service. So Java class account service. First thing first, annotate this with service, and then I'm going to create a new object. So we are talking about private account DAO, and then account DAO. Let's auto wire this. Alright, now similarly what we did in customer service, we had these 4 methods, right? So similarly we are going to have those 4 methods. So public list of type account. All right, get all accounts, and here we will do return account dot find all. That's it. Public add account and here we will say so void account dot save and then account. All right, now public account get account by ID. Here we will say long ID, and let's copy it from here. So let's modify this. Let's copy this as well. Delete account down. All right, so we are done with our service layer. Now we have to work on controllers. So let's first create packages. So Java class starting with customer controller. Now this is going to be a REST controller, so let's start with REST controller. Now we need customer service object. Let's auto-wire this. Okay, so first mapping is going to be to save a customer. So public void add customer. So this is going to be a post mapping. Here we will just say customer. Now we are going to get the object through request body. So request body customer. Let's import this. All right, now in customer service we are going to call the method add customer and then customer. Now for this customer we have to create an account as well while we are actually adding it. So for that I need account service as well. So here what I will do is account service dot add account, and here we need an object of type account, so new account. Now here what do we need? In object we have 1 2 3 4 things, right? Now what we will do here is ID is going to be same as customer ID, right? Then we need type, status and balance. So opening balance is 0. Where did we go? So start with customer dot get ID, first thing. Second thing is your type, so let's say savings. Third is your status, so it is going to be active. Lastly balance, so let's say new double and then 0. Okay, I forgot double quotes. Sorry, I've been working on Python a bit, so forgot this. Let's format this a bit. Alright, so yeah, now we need a get request. So public list of customer, here we will say get all customers. So this is your get mapping. So here we just need to return customer service dot get all customers. That's it. Now we can also get by ID. So public customer get customer by ID. So here we again have a get mapping. So here we will say customer ID and then ID. Now this is going to be inside your path variable. Long ID. So return customer service dot get customer by ID and ID. Now last thing is to delete. So this is simple, I think. So here we will say public void delete customer, and the mapping is going to be similar to this. So delete mapping. Okay, so they both looks same. So let's do something about it. Here we will do like this. We don't have to return, so customer service dot delete customer by ID and ID. Okay, so let's change this a bit. Add customer. Here let's say customer ID. I think this is okay. This is a get mapping, this is a delete mapping. Yeah, but don't jumble up between them. So otherwise whatever you are going to do, it is going to be a different thing. Now we are done with REST controller for our customer. Did we forget to create a package? Controller. Let's move this inside controller. Okay, so similarly, let's do it for count. So REST controller. Now obvious choice is your account service. Let's auto-wire this. Now first thing first, public list of account get all accounts, get mapping, accounts. Okay, we forgot the mapping here. Alright, so return account service dot I think I'm missing something more, so get all accounts. Let's go back. What did we do for get customer by ID? Okay, that's okay. Yeah. Now public void add account. Post mapping. Request body. Okay, so account service. So here we don't need add account because in the add customer section we are already doing that. So instead, let's work on account ID and then ID. Get account by ID and ID. Alright, so last thing is going to be our delete mapping, which is for the same thing as this. So public void delete account. Let's copy this. Now you might be wondering, we haven't done any bank operations yet. We haven't deposited anything. We haven't withdrawn anything. So where do we do that? So these are the basic things that we basically do whenever we talk about CRUD operations. So these were the simple tasks. Now what we need to do is we need to modify our account DAO a bit to add few more functionality. So starting with is your to get the balance of a particular account, right? So public double get balance by ID. So here long ID, and here we need a query. So now our query is going to be select balance from account where ID goes to the parameter, which is this. All right. Now similarly, we need to withdraw and deposit some. So let's make a deposit first. So let's do deposit to by ID. So here we need two things. One is your how much do you want to deposit and to which account. So first thing is common long ID. Then we need deposit amount. So let's say amount. So first thing is your transactional to make things more compliant. So if you see here, transactional basically is the annotation which provides you control over your transaction. So we are making a transaction here, so that's why. Now again we need a query. So here what we need to do is update account set balance and append the balance with the amount given in the argument, which is in number 2, and the where condition is going to be where ID equals to your argument 1. All right, now public void withdraw from account by ID. Same thing, long ID double amount, and transactional we have to use. Then your query. So update account set balance equals to balance minus amount, which is going to be in your second parameter where ID equals to 1. Now let's add these 3 methods to our service layer. So public so first thing is to get the balance double get balance by ID, long ID, and here we will simply return account DAO dot get balance by ID. That's it. Second is to make a deposit. So deposit to account by ID, long ID, and here we don't need to return anything. So deposit to ID, and we need an amount as well. So here double amount. Alright, last public void withdraw from account by ID. Same thing, and account DAO dot withdraw from account ID, and then your amount. Alright, so all good. Now let's come back to account controller. So here, alright, so let's first start with our get mapping, which is going to be public double get balance by ID. So let's just say get balance. Let's say get account balance. So this is get mapping, and this is going to be like account ID, and then balance. So path variable long ID, account service dot get balance by ID, and let's return this. Now we need two mappings more, and these are going to be output mappings because we are making an update. So void starting with deposit, so deposit to account, so put mapping, and here we need two things, so account ID, and then deposit, and then amount. So long ID, and then double amount. Let's copy this. Account service dot deposit ID, then amount. All right, now let's copy this. Withdraw from account, long ID, here let's say withdraw, and all right, so we are done. Now we can try this out. Let's see if this is working fine. So let's run our application. Let's open Postman as well. Alright, so we got an error. Alright, so if I add this to exclude data source auto configuration, this will work because we are not actually using any data source, so it shouldn't do that. Now we are getting another error, which is field account DAO in this account service. So let's do that. What went wrong here? So we have account DAO, we have account DAO object, also we have account DAO, which is your repository. So this is weird, should work. Okay, so I removed the auto add annotation because it is not actually required, because our account DAO is a repository and it is annotated with repository, so it should directly do that. And now I'm not getting that error, now I'm getting the error for customer DAO. So similarly I will do the same thing here. Alright, so I can see that the application is started after a few hiccups. So let's go to Postman and let's kickstart with our APIs. So first is going to be our post mapping, so 8080 and then customer. So let's go to body, raw, and then your JSON. So I did filled out a customer detail, so let's see if it is working. So I got 500 internal server error, so we don't see anything here. So coming to IntelliJ, so let's scroll up. Cannot invoke customer DAO.say because this DAO object, this customer DAO is null. Okay, so we didn't auto add it, so that's why it is null. Alright, so what we can do is we have a few workarounds that we can try. So first thing is that what we tried is that we can exclude the data source from here, and then we can actually try to scan from these packages to fix that error where we are getting that this account DAO and this customer DAO is not to be found. So that again is not a viable option, because in future series of this continuation we are going to work with the database. So why not include the database in the application.properties but not actually use it, right? So what we will do is we will set the properties here. So let's try. So what we have to use is we have to use these many properties, and here I'll simply provide the name for the database as bank app. And here if you see these errors, these will be okay in a few seconds. So in pom.xml we have to add the dependency for our MySQL also. So let's quickly do that. So here we don't need the version, so let's remove that. Alright, so let's rebuild the project. Now what we need to do is we need to check if this is working fine. So let this get completed. So this is duplicate, this we can remove. So we have duplicate property key. Okay, so DTL auto none, so let's remove that. All right, okay, so the error is resolved now. Okay, so I think we have the MySQL dependency with us. Let's see. So here I can see the MySQL connector now. So this is good, right? Now moving ahead, what we have to do is we just have to run this application. So let's do that. And we got one error, which is okay, so error creating bean with name account has no identifier. Okay. So this we know. What we need to do is basically annotate this with ID, and similarly we have to do for customer. And let's create an empty database also. Bank app, apply, finish. All right, Now let's run this application again. Okay, so it failed again. Okay, what went wrong now? Account controller unsatisfied dependency expressed through field account service. It says could not create query for public extract void. Reason validation failed for query for method. Okay. Seems validation is failing for query withdraw. So let's go to our account now. Alright, so two things. One is that I added modifying annotation, which is not exactly related to the error that we were getting. And right now if you see this, this is for that the account is not found. So the reason why we are getting this error is that we have to use the class name. So our class name is capital A account, right? So similarly we have to use it like this. That is how it is going to work. Now we have to repeat this here as well. Now modifying annotation is used whenever we are using not select statement but insert, update, something other than select statement, then we need to use modifying annotation, because this basically enhance the query annotation functionality. Alright, so now let's restart again. Let's see if it is working. Okay, so I think we have to place it here as well. Alright, so now we got this successful message that the application is started in these many seconds. So now let's work on Postman. Let's hit the same request that we did before. Let's send this. Okay, we see 500 internal server error again. Let's see what went wrong this time. JDBC exception executing SQL. Okay, what is the SQL? Select from customer where bank app dot customer does not exist. Okay, let's try this then. Let's do update. This we have to do in any case in the future series, so it doesn't hurt to do that, because we in any case want the table to be created, right? So why not do it now? So right now we don't have any tables, if you see here, so it's all empty. So we should be able to see the tables once the application is restarted. Alright, so I can see account and customer here, and the application is restarted. Now let's hit this request again. Again we got 500, okay. No default constructor for entity. Okay, so it seems like we are getting a lot of errors, but slowly, steadily we are fixing it. So that's okay. Let's do no aux constructor. Let's go to account as well. So now you know that I haven't tried this project yet. This I am building from scratch also, so that I can show you what errors you might see if you are going to build it from scratch, not copy it through some GitHub repository, right? So always try to build it from scratch. So what happens is when you copy a code from, let's say, Spring Boot 2, and right now you are working in Spring Boot 3, then it won't work. There are a lot of changes that we need to incorporate, and somehow you won't be able to, and things will mess up. So yeah, it should be okay. So now we got 200, okay. I'm happy. Now let's try the get request. So for get request, we just have to do customers and send it. Alright, so we are seeing the result. Now let's add another. So let's say John Doe. Let's send this 200, okay, and let's send this again. Now we have ID 1 John Doe. So this got updated. Somehow we don't have the previous record. Okay, so this we need to fix. Okay, so this is my bad. I used the same ID, so it actually updated the name. Now let's try another one. So I think the code is working fine. Let's try name as Sriram again, and let's send this. We got 200. Okay, let's send this again, and we have one as John Doe, two as Sriram. So this is working fine. Now let's try the get mapping with customer ID 1. If we try that, it should work. So it says 404 not found. So maybe the URI is different. Yeah, URI is different. We have to do ID and then /1. Alright. So we got John Doe. Let's try with 2. And we got 2 as well. Now I'm going to delete 1. So go with delete, and here I will say 1. So I got internal server error. First let's check the mapping, customer ID and ID1. This is okay. Now what went wrong? Customer ID is invalid. You shouldn't print that. So let's check in the database if we have anything. So it actually deleted the ID1 but printed the wrong message. So let's see. Okay, so this is okay. So this throw we have to do in the else condition. That's why it is wrong. Alright. Now what we need to do? Is we need to check for accounts. So let's try with accounts. So localhost 8080, and here we will say account ID1. So we don't have ID1. So we have ID1. So when we deleted the customer, we didn't delete the account. So we should have deleted the account as well. So this we need to fix. When we are deleting customer by ID, we need to call, let's go to account service. Here we have delete account by ID. Okay, good. So here also same thing. So go back to customer controller, and here in delete mapping, when we are deleting the customer, we have to delete account as well. Alright, so let's create the database again, I mean the tables. Okay, so we don't have anything in customers, so same should be for account as well. Yeah. Alright, so we are good with the empty slate. Now let's add this ID1. So 200. Okay, again let's try with 2. John Doe. Let's send this. Now in the database, let's hit customer. So we have 1 and 2. We didn't provide the phone number, did we? We are providing the phone number, but it is coming as 0. Okay, we'll fix that. I think the reason is that we have to use phone num here. Okay, let's try that. Okay, it didn't work. What is the name? What did we use? Phone num. We used phone num here. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so it exceeded the integer limit, that's why it went rogue there. So if I execute this query, you have the phone number here, right? So yeah, one bug fixed. Now in the account section, we have two accounts with balance 0, savings, active. Now let's try to delete the account 2, which is your John Doe. So send this 200. Okay, now let's execute account first. So we don't have any account for ID2, and same goes for this. So another bug fixed. Now what did we, okay, so we were doing this. So if I send this now, ID1, we have ID1, but if I try with ID2, it shouldn't. So yeah, 500. Now let's try the balance. So ID1 and then just balance. So 0. Now let's try to deposit something. So deposit is going to be of amount, let's say 1000 rupees. So we got method not allowed. So we are getting the error from line number 23, which is your this account ID 81. I think this one is old. Okay, it says request method get is not supported for deposit. Okay, my bad. Send. Okay, we got 200. Okay, now let's create another get request. So ID1 balance. So we got 1000 rupees. Yes. Things are looking good. Now let's make a withdrawal. So put here, we'll say withdraw, and here I'll just say 500 rupees. Send this 200. Okay, let's try the balance again, and we have 500 only. Yeah, so this is working fine. Now we are done with this part of the video. Now in the next video of this series, what we are going to do is, first we are going to actually create a RESTful application with RESTful messages. So I don't want to see 200. Okay, I want to see a message specifying that this happened, and you can take a look with this URI and check if everything is working fine. So I want to print something as a response other than 200. Okay, right? That is the first thing that we have to do. Second thing is that to enhance this with more operations and with more functionality, and maybe optimize a bit on the database side. So this is my goal for the next video. So this is it for now, and I really hope that we will meet in the second part of this series, or maybe in another video. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Now let's meet in some other video. Till then, have a good day, stay happy, and bye bye.